Hey everyone, it's John and I am back in the shop again, and I just came from the thrift store and I found me these really cool like Chuck Taylor knockoff Gryffindor shoes. Apparently they were sold at Hot Topic. I paid $1.50 for them. I think I'm going to be able to list them on eBay and probably get about 15 to 20 bucks out of them, right at the very bottom of where I like to sell stuff when I am listing it on eBay to try to turn a profit. I am going to go to the basement. We've got a few items to pull. Things on eBay have been a little slow, unfortunately. I have been struggling to find really good stuff to list. A lot of the local auctions have really not been that great lately, and I think that people are just down. I think people aren't buying as much stuff, and I think we're going to talk about that. I think it's something that's very important. I think that this might be a little bit of a controversial video, but I'm not going to take a political side. I'm just going to talk about some of the stuff that's going on in the world, and I think that people see it, I think people feel it, and I think that we are getting ready to go down into a dark basement. Ooh, is there anything down there? You guys see anything on camera? There we go. But I think that the world as we know it is getting ready to fundamentally change, and this isn't one of those conspiracy theory channels. We are a reselling channel, but I do have my opinions about this stuff, and I think that we are on the cusp of what very well could be World War III. And if that happens, it's going to really have a huge impact on reselling. It's going to have a huge impact on everything that we do. If you haven't been paying attention, if you haven't been watching the news lately, there's a lot going on between Russia and Ukraine, and the United States has actually stopped producing Patriot missile systems and other missile systems for other nations. They said that we're putting a hold on all that, and we're shipping all this weaponry to Ukraine. So they're going to start using F-16s. Poland is flexing. Europe is flexing. They've just passed something recently, and it hasn't made it all the way through Congress, but they're trying to automatically enlist our children for the draft, both men and women. So if you've got a female child out there, that's something to think about too. And all of this has something important about reselling. It's going to be really hard to resell if World War III breaks out, that's for sure. The first item that we sold is a pair of pants. I actually just listed these yesterday, and I probably listed them a little cheap, but I've had these things for probably what feels like 50 years. I've actually had them probably for 5-6 years off and on, and I had them listed real high to begin with. I think I listed them at like 50 bucks, but now I just sold them. Actually, these are the wrong pants, but they are very similar. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. These are vintage 1970s Western wear pants, and if you see here, I have two pairs right here side by side. These are the second pair that I have here, and I think these are the ones that actually sold. They are actually like some kind of polyester. They are absolutely horrid. They are ugly, disgusting, and they are not hemmed. These come this way from the factory because back in the day, Grandma would buy Grandpa a brand new pair of pants, and then she'd hem them up for him, and he'd wear them off to the wearing place like church or the feed store or wherever. Tote, small tote 5. So Megan had a situation. She got a negative feedback today from a guy. I think this is it right here. This is a really nice. You ever go? I went to an auction and I bought a bunch of these knives, and I really messed up. I should have just bought. I was paying 30 bucks, 32 bucks a piece for them, and it was one of them situations where I should have just said, I'm gonna buy them all, and I didn't. There were literally like 40, 50 knives there, and I should have just been like, you know what, I'm gonna take them all. This knife here sold for 153 bucks. Absolutely beautiful. I probably, like I said, I had about 30-40 bucks into it, and it was one of them times where I was afraid. I was like, you know what, I'm not really gonna spend a bunch of money here because I'm afraid I'm overpaying for something. And yeah, long story short, I ended up not buying enough of them because I made a fortune on those. So if you ever see the old case pocket knives, if you can pick them up, especially if they got the box and the paperwork, they sell really well. I mean, you're not gonna go wrong if you pay 30 or 40 bucks for a brand new pocket knife. And but anyways, Megan got a negative feedback from a guy who bought some kind of cleansing. It was a THC stomach cleanser. It was for cleansing out your system, and I think that it was based on, I don't know if it was based on THC or if it was based on we'll have her explain it when she gets here. I'm not sure if it had THC in it, or the guy thought it cleaned THC out, but it was just like for cleansing your digestive system. Well, he bought it and he said that it didn't work, and he left her negative feedback. And she was calling eBay when I left the house, and we're gonna see how that works out, because they have this new Rockstar put out a thing about eBay taking off negative feedback if you get them, if they're dumb, and this is probably about as dumb as you can hope for. Well, anyways, the guy opened up a return, and he's gonna send it back, but I told her, since he's already left negative feedback, I just tell him that if he sends it back, that she's going to give him the least amount of money that he can actually get back for it. That like whatever eBay says that she can keep, that she's going to keep, and she's not going to refund his original shipping. And maybe it would somehow deter him from like wanting to send it back. But how crazy is that? What do you guys think about that? Let me know down below in the comment section. We have got to find a Pietro Massacagini Calavelleria Rustican DVD. I don't speak Spanish, so for all of my Spanish-speaking familia out there, I am truly simpatico, or some sympathy. That's sympathy, ain't it? That's not the word I'm looking for. Here it is, right here. It's right here. I haven't sold any of these Parasite DVDs in a while. I need to check and see if there's still any of these listed, because they very well could be gone. But this is it right here. It looks like there's two men hugging each other. Maybe that's a woman. I'm not sure. I can't really tell. It is Pride Month, and who am I to judge? So we have a really nice DVD, and it actually sold for 25 bucks. Holy chamoli. That's absolutely insane. That's crazy. And I'll take it. I'll definitely take it. The next item that we have is a Metal Edge magazine, and it's in Milk Crate 2, MC2. And you know, my ADHD has already kicked in, and I probably need to go back and actually see like who's on the cover. And it looks like it's got Van Halen, Jackal, Mr. Big, Pearl Jam. Yeah, so there's a blonde and a brunette in the upper left hand corner, my left hand. So we're gonna come over here and we're gonna look at Milk Crate 1, Milk Crate 4, Milk Crate 2. Let's see if old Johnny is right here. I actually need to condense these because they're pretty big, or they're pretty sparse. I mean, that's 1984. That's pretty appropriate for where we're living at today, old 1984. I don't know if it's going to be in here, guys. That's not it. That's not it. That's it right there. That's it right there. Van Halen, Jackal, Aerosmith. How about that? I had it in the store for $9.95. And, yeah. So that's a pretty cool magazine. Could you imagine? It would have been really cool to be a teenager back then. I would have liked it. That would have been neat. I would have had a good time listening to 80s hair metal. The next item that we have is in 8001. What would I even have did that for? It's a Marks HO Western Maryland 2-bay hopper car. We're going to skip over that because I don't know exactly where that's at. The next item we have is a Y2K vocal shirt, large fleur de lis wings embellished. So that's on rack 1. And being that you would think that it would go 1, 2, but because I'm weird and I numbered them this way. That's 1, 2, and then I think that's like 5 or something. But here's these shirts. I bought these from the local thrift store. They were all brand new. That's a big fleur-de-lis, but it doesn't have the wings. But I bought all these for like $1 a piece, so it was pretty good deal. And here it is right here. The fleur-de-lis, I guess. I don't know. It's got the wings kind of see-through. I believe that's it. Let's go check it out, because once again my freaking ADHD is kicked in, and that's not it. This is it? Is that it? Is it? I don't know. Nope, that's not it. Let's go back and try. Let me go find it, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, after about 5 attempts, I finally found the right one. This is it right here, and it has all kinds of blingy bling stuff on there. Nice 20 teens, 20 early, late 2000s, early 2000 teens. It sold for $14.95 and out the door for $19.42 shipped. So that's pretty crazy. Now I've got to find a Volkswagen cap. Now this is going to be fun. So I am going to put you guys down, because there is actually no SKU number for this. So it's going to be a search. It's going to be a hunt and peck. Let's see what I can find. Well, that didn't take nearly as long as I thought. I probably searched for it for about 5 minutes, and it was actually in my rolling cart system over here, and I don't know, it was in rolling cart 3, and this is it. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't put a SKU on there, but you know, there is that. So we are going to put this down here, and it sold for $27.16 out the door, tax, title included. So we've got a hat to pull. That's in tote T4. I'm going to go grab it, and I'll be right back. Okay, this is the AC Delco hat. It sold for $8.26 and $11.74 out the door. This is a Cap America hat. It's one of our local cap companies. Pretty cool. And I actually bought all of those hats out at a yard sale. I bought hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hats. The guy that was the CEO or the CFO or something for the cap company had a yard sale. And I was like, how much for everything? And they sold them to me for $0.25 a piece. So you can't really go wrong with that price. That's for sure. I'm still gonna have to go find this. I'm gonna have to go look for it, and we're gonna go find this HO Western Marks train. So I've got a couple places I keep train stuff, so I'm gonna go look, and you know what I'm gonna say, folks. I'm gonna be right back. And here we go. Toot toot. It's the last item that was on our list of stuff to find, and it's a little HO little coal car, sold for $11.95, $16.02 shipped out the door. And when Megan gets here at some point to package up all this really cool stuff, we'll talk to her about how her conversation went with eBay. I'm not holding my breath. I've been pleasantly surprised lately, but I don't know. It was kind of a weird situation, and hopefully they remove the negative feedback. And if so, then good for her. And if not, well, it's just a negative feedback. And to be honest, they don't mean much anymore. They're just, you know, as long as you're keeping your metrics up, you should be okay, and everything should work out well for you. So there you go. Let's wait for her to show up, and we'll see what she has to say. Okay, we got Frances in the store with us, and she just came in looking lovely as usual, and she told me part of the story, but I didn't want her to have to speak the whole thing out and then repeat it. So start from the beginning. She called eBay and action.
Well, the rep, he thought it was funny too, that the guy thought,
yeah, that is pretty funny.
He thought it was pretty hilarious that he thought it would take THC out of his system. I mean, we got a pretty good laugh out of it.
That's awesome.
But he said that I should accept the return.
Okay.
Because if I don't, obviously the guy would escalate it and then I would get a defect.
Right.
So he said I should just accept the return and wait to see if he sends anything back or what he sends back. Because obviously if he doesn't send anything back, it'll close.
Right.
And if he sends something back that's obviously not it because he doesn't have it anymore, then I can escalate it then. He's already made notes, so I don't have to repeat myself if I have to call back.
Right.
He said they would remove the feedback, but I'm guessing that would be once I call and escalate it. He said they could remove it.
Right.
So it's still there as of now, and I'm not going to reply to it. But it's pretty funny.
So hopefully they'll remove the negative feedback. She did get a negative feedback from the dude, and I almost called him a douche, but that probably would have been a lot better. The douche. And so he left her negative feedback for the item that he bought after he used it. Didn't even like message her or nothing. Just, it's funny how these,
Well, he messaged too, but it's just like he said in the feedback that it didn't work, that he still tests positive for THC, but
right.
that's not what it was for.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's funny how these new eBay, he had like one feedback when he bought the item. They don't know what they're doing, but they sure know how to leave that negative feedback, and I think that that's pretty funny. It must be pretty easy. eBay must make it really easy for them to leave feedback, because yeah, that's absolutely insane. So we've got to wait see what happens with the return.
wait, what, 3 weeks I guess it is?
Right.
'Cause that's how long they give them.
Did you approve the return already?
No, I'm going to.
You're gonna have to, and the sooner you approve it,
yeah.
the sooner you can.
Well, I'm gonna do it today. I
Yeah.
did message him separately from the return also, but I'm sure he won't reply.
Right, it's pretty crazy. So we are at an impasse. The feedback has not yet been removed, and the the guy still opened up the return. It was a 40. How much was the item?
46 plus shipping.
$46 plus shipping. So we will let you guys know in another video how this all pans out. I'm sorry I don't have a resolution for you guys today. I absolutely hate that. I was hoping that we would, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. And if you would, go down below and
Like the video.
hit the like button.
Hit the like button.
And then what?
Subscribe.
Yep, we want you to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. You guys have a good day, and God bless.